Thank you very much, Larry. While the skies may be ominous, there's never a bad day for football. Coming up, a rematch of Super Bowl 50 between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin here in the booth. And, Chuck, you take a look at this matchup. I don't know if it's going to be one in the trenches from the quarterbacks out, whatever. It's going to be a good game.
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to see the big fellas have an impact. We're always spotlighting those wide receivers and quarterbacks and running backs and even the defensive backs. But the big guys, I can't wait to see which one tilts the balance for their team.
Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Sports Authority Field. Fozzie Whitaker now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the defending NFC champs on offense now. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, and none other than Cam Newton.
In 2015, he had one of the great seasons ever by a quarterback in the NFL. A threat to throw it, a threat to run it, became a terrific leader, and led his team to a Super Bowl appearance.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Here's Newton now on second down. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They go back to Stewart on first. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Have they come up with a nickname for just Jonathan Stewart? Remember when it was double trouble when he's run with D'Angelo Williams in Carolina? But, boy, what a year he had in 2015.
Yeah, it was just 11 yards shy of 1,000, so close, but kind of stepped out of that shadow, didn't he?
Certainly did, and gave the Panthers a real identity running the ball.
Now Newton. And this one brought in by a man who missed all of last year, Kelvin Benjamin. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a #1 receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit higher.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. Newton on third down. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
When we talk about Aqib Talib, technique is not the word that comes to mind, but don't worry about that. This guy anticipates as well as anyone in the league, and he did just that, picking off another pass.
Simeon. And his first look is incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now Simeon. Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. And he's brought down after a good game. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 37 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got it complete to Fowler. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. And some space here. Picked by the rookie, James Bradbury. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a little jumpy there defensively. Ref caught him in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. A shotgun snap for Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And for how much Cam handles the football, he really doesn't fumble a whole lot, but coughed it up there.
And I know that a lot of people seeing that play, they immediately go back to the Super Bowl against Denver and Von Miller knocking it free from Cam. But I think you're exactly right. One of the underrated aspects of his game, he's fundamentally sound when he carries the football. Whether he's in the pocket or actually running it, he usually does a great job of taking care of it.
They'll have to shake that. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
C.J. Anderson may not be a Pro Bowl runner, but he knows how to run big in big games.
Yeah, he sort of sealed the Super Bowl for them in the fourth quarter. Big game against the Patriots last year on a Monday night, but only 720 yards all told in 2015. So each quarterback with an intercept. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
Let's go! 3-19!
They're going to look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board. But the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now the Broncos defense coming back onto the field. Forced the fumble last time. Now 2 turnovers that they forced here in this first half, Charles.
And this defense has set the tone for the game. Taking it away twice here in the first half of the game, that's going to make the offense so uncomfortable the rest of the game and really make them focus on ball security. Sometimes that cuts down your ability to make big plays.
The offense will try to prove you wrong here. They'll try to find that comfort. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed. In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Now a play fake here on first down. And this one's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And a little aside here, a good note of sportsmanship around the league that you and I were talking about off the air earlier. Cliff Averill reaching out to Tony Romo to wish him well, and Tony Romo replied in a text and said, hey, you take care of the NFC West, and we'll see you in the playoffs.
They still know how to have fun, don't they? At the heart of it, they're guys playing a game and enjoying themselves. That's a nice little deal.
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Now it's Newton. And that is incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's a 3-time All-Pro Andy Lee to punt it away. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 15. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in the intended receiver. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Simeon. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
Here's Ginn.
Whoosh.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Dan, that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now Simeon, and this one complete to Virgil Green. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 24 that time.
I know you're tired of me saying this, but do you know what a young quarterback or an inexperienced quarterback's best friend is on the team?
A good tight end, a good security blanket.
No doubt about it. See, we work well together.
You taught me. You taught me.
I think Virgil Green could very well be that for Trevor Siemian as he gets started in Denver. Great safety valve for him. A guy that he can throw easy routes, get the ball in his hand quickly to him, right in his sight lines, and he can make nice plays.
Last year, just 12 catches. They definitely expect that to go up big time.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. He finds Norwood. And he will have a touched down at about the 21-yard line. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Back to throw here. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and then leads to the first and goal. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Green 39.
Simeon. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tap.
And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders from 3 yards out. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Stewart. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup. And the Panthers are going to get a first down. Now a first down throw for Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Newton on first down. And some room to maneuver. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Gano's kick is right through. So we've reached halftime in this Super Bowl rematch. Once again, it's the Broncos on top over the Panthers. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have had their moments so far today, and that's why we have a tight game on our hands. We'll have to see if either side can take control in the second half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Offense out now following the INT. The pass ends up being picked off. Bradbury is the one who makes the pick, halting the offense's drive. Panthers lined up at the 48. Under pressure here, and the pass is picked off. Miller is happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive. Offense on the field now after the pick. The catch is made after a quick pass, and he capped off the long drive with the TD, pushing the lead to 10. Just about out of time in the first half. Benjamin's got the reception, and he ends up at the 49-yard line before he stopped on the play. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Again, Anderson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game, and with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And Fowler's got it. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a 1st down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Charles Johnson's stock in trade is coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. But he knows how to make some of those subtle moves inside to help in the run game, and he did it right there.
He's an athlete back in high school, played football, basketball, track, so he's a mobile guy.
Mobile guy, made a nice play against the run.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now Simeon. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They run. Anderson. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10.
Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Drops it underneath for Booker. A second Jude. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out till you run it, get them out in the flat, and let them have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the safety, Kurt Coleman. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Caught left side by Funchess. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They're going to hurry back to the line now. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, Newton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The reigning Super Bowl MVP, Von Miller, in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Now Stewart on 1st down. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. And they're going to speed things up here. Now a first down throw for Newton. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down. Second down now after the pass completion.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to ride and in a bad mood.
Here's Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it third and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And the inaugural carry here for Fozzie Whitaker. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Fozzie Whitaker, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on third and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
They run it again with Anderson. Anderson loses the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. And now Anderson is slow to get up. Staying down after that last play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied. See if they can get the ball back for the offense. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Tie game late, and the offense really has to be conscious of the clock here as it's becoming a factor late in this ball game. And to give this time to the tailback. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I know from an offensive perspective, you want every play to be a big play. But sometimes the defense actually wins, and they did there on that draw play. Good job by the runner just taking care of the football because he didn't want to compound a bad play by turning it over.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Ginn. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball. And that didn't happen on that play.
And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Draw play, Newton to Stewart. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. The Panthers going for it on 4th. Newton. And no, it's incomplete. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And some room to roam now. And he cuts it right into space. 20. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They are already in field goal range. Let's see how they want to play this, Charles.
And I have a feeling I know how they want to play this already. run the football to the hash mark that works best for their kicker. They already have the field goal unit lined up, ready to run out there and go get it done. They practice this, they understand the situation, and with that amount of time, they can do it.
Let's see how they carry it over into the game. A fresh set of downs, and they're at the 1, 1st and goal. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Gano now to add the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue landing.
He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Let's go. Green 39.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Surveying the field. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. And, Charles, when you pull out a close game, the good thing about that is maybe next time you're in a nail-biter in the 4th quarter, you have a little more confidence.
Yeah, you're talking about your memory muscles, right? When you win those close ones, you have that confident feeling that you can continue to do so every time you're in that position.
Now, that said, you would rather win by 60 points, or do you like the close ones, too?
Well, I think everyone would rather win by 60. It's comfortable. Everyone gets to play. But when you win those nail-biters, dinner tastes just a little bit better that night.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Denver, good night, everybody.